everybody, welcome back to Kathy's Craft Room. Today we are going to be making this card here, and it's made with the new Ribbon of Courage stamp set. It just came out in the new catalog, and I'm only using stamps from this set today. The colors that I'm using for the background, I used Smoky Slate, so we will be using Smoky Slate ink. And for the yellow, I use So Saffron, so it's the lighter of the yellows. I'll be using some, what are these called? They are things that cut out circles. So thinlits, I think they're called. So I'm going to use one, if you can look really close, see how it has the stitched, big fan of the stitched look. So I do have a stitched framelit, and then I have one to cut the bigger piece out. There are some rhinestones on here, and I have my 4 little stamps that I'm using. So let's go ahead and get the paper cut. Okay, you're going to need to start off getting your base layer cut, and that is going to be in Smoky Slate. So you take a piece of Smoky Slate, and then you're going to cut it at 5.5. So just put it in your trimmer and cut that in half. Okay, and then when you already have it in your trimmer, if you just turn it to 4 1/4, you go ahead and use the scoring blade and go ahead and give it a score. And there we go, our base is ready to go. And this was just a standard 8.5 by 11 cut at 5.5 and then scored at 4 1/4 to make our base. Now the next layer that we're going to do is going to be in the yellow, and that's the So Saffron. Let me get a piece of that out. So our first layer, instead of doing a whole 1/4 inch, I'm only going to do 1/8 inch down. So instead of doing 5 1/4, we're going to do 5 3/4. So just like that in the yellow. And then normally we go one layer down, we go to 4 inches, but we're going to do 4 1/8 instead. So there we go. So now we have our base and our first layer, and it will layer, and you'll barely be able to see just a little bitty edge around the sides. The next layer that we're going to do is the Whisper White, and that we're going to go just a little bit down as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do the layer for the inside of the card and the one for the out. So that's going to be 5 1/4. Go ahead and cut that, and then wide 4 inches. 4 inches even. So, and we're going to go ahead and cut 2 of those. So we have one ready to go for the inside and one for the out for stamping. Okay, so far we have our base cut, our first layer, our second layer for the top, and the layer for the inside. Okay, so that's all the regular cutting that we're going to do. We do have some big shot work to do, but first I need to go ahead, before I use the big shot, I do like to stamp first and then use the big shot. So we need to go ahead and stamp our awesome ribbon, and it's a yellow ribbon, and then we have the word courage on there, and those are 2 separate stamps. So we're going to go ahead and take our scrap piece of Whisper White, and then we're going to go ahead and get some stamping done. We're going to take our So Saffron, open it up, and then I have mounted on, what size block is this? This is an E block. I have the ribbon, the solid ribbon. This does also come with a ribbon that has flowers all over. It's not flat yet. It's kind of flowers and stuff on it, but I'm going to use the solid ribbon because I want to stamp the word courage on it. And because it's kind of big, I am going to move it around a little bit, get it good and inky. There you go, it's pretty inky. And I'm also going to use my foam mat underneath it. You don't really have to because this is a clear mount block, but I just like to be on the safe side. And then we're going to take and stamp that straight down. Press it firmly because it is a bigger stamp. I want to get nice solid coverage. There we go. So now we have our ribbon stamped, and then I also want to go ahead and stamp the word courage in my Smoky Slate. So I'm going to open that up. I'm going to ink the word courage. Okay, make sure it's nice and inked up. And then I'm going to pull this off camera for just a second. So I want to make sure I line it up just right. Okay, so I just took and I stamped that on the corner there. I didn't really want you guys staring at the top of my head, so I went ahead and did that off camera. So now we're going to take this and run it through the Big Shot with the stitched shape, the oval stitched shape. It'll fit just around there. So I'm going to bring my Big Shot in. Okay. Move those blocks out of the way. Okay, so here's the Big Shot, and I have my sandwich made here. So I have my base plate, which is thicker, and then I have my thin die adapter on top of that, because this is a thin die. And then we still need to make sure that we have a regular plate. So this is a cutting plate. So you put that in there. Then you put your paper, and then you line up your framelit on it. If it moves around on you a lot, you can either get the magnetic base or you can use washi. I got it to stay pretty good there. So I'm going to go ahead and put my top plate on here and then go ahead and run it through. And there we go. So there we go, beautiful. Now we have our little ribbon with our stitched edge around it. And then we are going to take a piece of So Saffron, put it back on here, and then take, this is, I do believe it is the largest oval. Yes, it is the largest oval that comes in the layering ovals. So if you see here, here's the layering ovals, and it's the largest one. It's the one that goes around this one. So it's the largest. So then I'm going to put that on top. Put my plate on and run it. All right, and there we go. That's all the cutting that we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and, it's really a smart idea to put your thinlits away right after you use them, because sometimes they look like you put them away and then you didn't, and then you find one somewhere, and you definitely don't want that. So here's the stitched shapes, and it comes with those lovely stitches. Okay, so now we have all of our cutting done. Move my Big Shot to the side, and now we can start doing our background stamping. Now I did make my own kind of version of DSP here, because this I just stamped all out. So that's what I'm going to do with this piece here. I'm going to go ahead and start stamping the background. And I'm going to stamp that in Smoky Slate. And I'm going to take my heart, and this is this heart in here. It's the bigger one. There is a smaller heart, but there's two different sizes. This is the bigger heart. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp it all over. No particular pattern. I just want to make sure I cover the entire thing. I want it to look a little symmetrical, and a lot of these are going to be covered up because my ribbon's going to be right in the middle. Okay, so there we go. So there's the hearts, and that is all I'm stamping with the Smoky Slate. And now I took the little bitty flower, and that's this right here in the set, and I'm going to stamp a bunch of these just to kind of fill in the gaps in between all of the hearts. So Saffron is a really light yellow, and it goes really well with the Smoky Slate. If I were to use basic gray, I would use the Daffodil Delight instead, because they're kind of the same color palette. Smoky Slate is like the lighter gray. Okay, and again, just to fill in some holes to make it feel a little bit more complete. So now we're done with stamping. Roll the stamps to the side, and we can start layering our card together. All right, so let's bring our base back in, and all of our pieces back in. And we're gonna go ahead and put the first layer down, and that's this layer here, the So Saffron. So we're gonna put some adhesive on the back. And then layer that on. Remember, it doesn't have a big lip on it. It's really a smaller edge all around it. So there you go. And then we're gonna put our second layer, which is our background paper that we just made ourselves. So you can customize that to any color that you want. A lot of people use pink. Obviously the pink is for breast cancer awareness, which is in October. So you can do, there's pretty much ribbons for every color. It means something. So you can find out what those mean and kind of make some cards to go with them. And then we're gonna layer this on next. There we go. All right, and now we need to put our ribbon together. So here's our ribbon we cut out. We're gonna go ahead and put adhesive on the back of that and layer it onto the oval. Perfect. And then we're gonna flip that over and pop this up on dimensionals. Dimensionals are always needed to make it pop out. At least I like them. You can make it flat. It would look just as nice if you didn't have any dimensionals. But I'm definitely a dimensionals girl. Do not look in my adhesive drawer. You may find a ton of them because I put them on every order. And they're really cheap. They're only like $3 or $4. You get like 300 of them, $5, something like that. Okay, so we're gonna take and put this right in the middle. And I do wanna go and put gemstones on my flowers. So I wanna make sure that I'm not inconveniencing any of my flowers as well. There you go. So right there in the middle. And then we're gonna take our rhinestones and we're gonna use the middle size of them, and we are going to take and put them right in the middle of these flowers. So here we go. You get quite a few of these rhinestones in a pack, so you do have plenty to decorate many cards with these rhinestones. And one last one right here. And there we go. Just a quick little card to show somebody courage, or give to a card to someone who has shown courage. The yellow is for the military. So the only thing I did differently, I stamped a little bit more hearts on this one. And I was gonna color in some of the insides, but I didn't really like the way it looked. So I decided to leave that off of the second one. So that's my card for today. Thank you so much for watching. I have a couple of other new stamp sets that I'll be making some cards with and sharing with you guys soon. If you like this, please like and subscribe, and I will know that I'm on the right track with you guys. Thanks so much. Have a great day.